God showed with that mark exactly where it was, and then when the bruising went away,
It's gone.
It was gone.
It was incredible. So it has been 1 year, almost a year.
No, longer than a year.
Longer than a year since we last made a podcast. Unfortunately, in this time, Laudi got diagnosed with breast cancer, and it's been a hell of a journey, and we are just basically getting back on track. Some incredible things have happened, amazing things. God has really been with us. It's been a trying time. We've been through like hell and back, but we're still here. And I feel, we feel maybe the devil's been really trying to stop us to doing this thing, but we know that we are walking in our destiny and in our calling. This is where God wants us. And we're gonna come back, and our first podcast back is about Laudi's journey, her cancer journey, and what she's been through in the last, how many months? Basically year.
Yeah.
Since we kind of stopped. I think Laudi's just going to start talking and just telling us about everything that happened, the diagnosis, which was actually a miracle in itself, catching it when we did. God has got us, and it's just so awesome to know that He's with us every step of the way. So babe.
Okay, so
are you gonna kind of just unpack everything?
Yes, so I'm gonna start. So last year, beginning of 2024, I went in to go see my gynae. I think it was January. I wanted to do ablation, uterine ablation. It's just ladies will know.
Lady stuff.
It's lady stuff, yeah. While I was there, he said to me, go and remember you must do your mammogram. Okay. So my mom had breast cancer when she was 36. I was a little girl of, I think, 12 years old. I remember that. So since I've been 40, I've been going for a, mammogram every year, just because it is in our family. So in any case, so I booked that. I went in for the ablation on, I think, middle of February. The next day, I actually asked you, I said to you, I think they've burnt me with those monitors.
Stickers.
Yeah, stickers.
So stick on with the little wires that come off.
Yeah, and I remember them putting it on in theatre.
Yeah.
And I saw like a round circle on my right breast. And didn't think anything of it. After a week, it was still there. So then I said to you, well, this is obviously not a burn mark. It looks like a ringworm.
Yeah, I remember. I think it might be a ringworm.
Ringworm, because it looked exactly.
It looked like it was a circle. It was just this little circle.
This little circle. Perfect little circle there, just above my nipple. I'm like, how did I get a ringworm? Like, that comes from touching or something. Actually, I'm like, it sounds weird. I was like, did the doctor suck on my boob? Why did I get? Because you get it from, physical touch and something. So it was weird. I was even laughing with my friend about it. We made a joke, whatever. I thought, okay, well, then I've got to go and get some cream. In this time, my mammogram was coming up, and I was thinking, no, I have to cancel this, because if I've got a ringworm, it's highly contagious, so I'm going to spread it to other women, So I actually cancelled my mammogram. I actually had just rescheduled it for about a month later. So I thought, because it says it can take up to 6 weeks for the ringworm to go away. I was scheduled for the 16th of April for my next mammogram. And because this was not gone, I decided, well, I'm going to go and just tell them, listen, I have a ringworm, it's not gone yet. So what happens if you go for a mammogram, it's the nurse that actually does this, and I told her about this. Then you go into the sonar room where the doctor then comes in, does a sonar and chat. So as I was lying in this room after my mammogram, the doctor comes in, the first thing she says, "Hi, I heard you think you've got a ringworm, and but I see something underneath it. So I want to do a sonar and let's see what it is." So she did the sonar. Underneath it, you could see a little circle and some white underneath that. So she said there is some calcification, so we have to do a biopsy. I mean, I didn't even think anything of it. I didn't even phone you to say I'm having a biopsy. So what they actually do is they take, it looks like a gun, and then this gun goes in and it like actually shoots like this into your chest, and it takes a piece of the tumor or whatever it is. Okay, like when it, the life comes back, it's quite sore. I mean, I was blue. I will show the picture. Afterwards, she puts a needle in with a little seed, and they put it exactly where they did that. Okay, but we weren't really worried.
I really thought,
it's fine. Then we got a call the next day, and she said to me, they said, it's breast cancer. So obviously very emotional. Yeah. It is quite hectic to hear.
That's hectic when you hear that the C word and it's you, hey? Yes, the cancer thing, it's really hard.
I mean, you always hear it from somewhere, but when it's you, you're like, oh wow, okay. Anyway, so with this whole circle, we obviously thought that the cancer was right on this actual as big as that circle.
So basically what we thought like that ring was cancer. We were like, oh, so that's actually cancer. This ring that was there. We were like, wow, so that's what cancer looks like. Because it's not like it's something, just normal people see every day.
Yes.
So we were like, oh, wow, so that's like what a breast cancer looks like. It's got this actually, you can see it on your skin. Yeah, it was this big circle, exactly.
Yes. So obviously my chest was blue, and it took about 2 weeks for that to heal. And I was going to go see the surgeon only a month later. In this 2 weeks, the bruising actually started going away. As this bruising went away, the ring was gone. And we were like, but the cancer is not out yet. This ring disappeared with the bruising. Why was there a ring and the cancer still there? And the only other option, like what we could think of, is God kind of put his finger right there, because when I actually went in for the op, for them to cut it out, they said it was so minute, we probably would have missed it if she didn't look exactly there. Because God showed with that mark exactly where it was, and then when the bruising went away,
it's gone.
It was gone.
It was incredible. Could have been another year before MRI or whatever. You could have been on stage 2, stage 3, whatever stage it was. But we were able to catch it on stage 1, which was a miracle.
Yeah. Then I obviously had the operation. I was not going to have chemo. I was just going to have radiation, because with the little sample they took out, they actually tested, and then you get a score. They said my score is 12, so that means you don't need chemo. But then obviously when they take out the tumor, they actually test it and actually send the tumor away to California and actually go test it. And mine was hormone positive, estrogen and progesterone positive, HER2 negative. So all of this says what makes your tumor grow, what type of cancer it is, and they test it in California, and then they give you another oncotype, the score. So then my score came back as 28. So over 20, the chances of it coming back is higher. So then tell you, you should have chemo, just because, yes, they've taken out the tumor, but if there's anything else left in your body, it can come back, and then it's metastatic breast cancer, and then you kind of, eventually you will die from it.
It's rough.
Yes.
It's quite hectic. It's almost like it's not just that little growth. If it comes back in your bones, it comes back in your organs. they still call it breast cancer, but because that's where they first found it, right? But it's pretty, it's a bit scary.
Yes.
So they basically say, we need to take every precaution that we possibly can, that it doesn't come back. So
a year and a half before that, I had my 3-level neck fusion. So it wasn't just the cancer. I was just healed from a very hectic operation. I mean, we started our new business the end of last year, so things were starting to come right, and then 4 months later I got breast cancer. So after all this, I said no. The whole family, we went to Thailand for 3.5 weeks, and they said the minute I come back, I have to start chemo. The chemo, we had to decide between 2 types of chemo as well. The one was called the Red Devil, and the other one was called CMF. And because of my neck fusion, the Red Devil is a stronger one. Side effects could be heart damage, and also it can affect your hands.
Joints.
The nerves.
The nerves, that's right.
Can't actually, up to 2 years, can't hold. Some people can't hold a cup.
The side effects are just...
Side effects was just too much, and we decided to go for the more milder one called CMF. So and then 5 months of chemo started. Oh my word. I don't wish this even on the devil. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And the nausea is horrific. Your stomach is upset all the time. You feel like you're dying. I mean, I've never cried so much in that time. I mean, you saw me,
It's so hectic. It's really rough because when there's somebody you live with goes through that, there's nothing you can do. There's just nothing you can do. You feel so helpless. You feel so helpless. It is to be even just it's just seeing a person suffer like that every single day. Oh, my heart goes out to people who are on this, and it's really not pleasant.
No, and I was on a group. I'm on a group of 80 women on WhatsApp that's got breast cancer, and I mean, like I said, I was on the mildest chemo. There were women there that's got stage 3, stage 4, and they call them lifers. They on one chemo till it stops working, then on the next. And I mean, the side effects of chemo, it is horrific. Like, they'll wake up and they've got thousands of paper cuts on their hands that they can't even touch anything. Your toenails fall off. They're losing nails. It's the most horrific thing ever. Like, and then you kind of feel like you're so blessed because, there's women that goes through something way worse. So you actually, and it takes away also from you. You feel kind of guilty that, yours is only stage 1 or whatever. But also, and you're like so positive in the beginning, but then once you're in chemo, it starts like chipping away. And then there was a stage, I think it was after the 2nd or the 3rd cycle. So it works in cycles. So you will go in for chemo IV, then you're on chemo pills for, is it 2 weeks?
3 weeks or something.
No, 3 weeks. And then you stop for a week and then you start again. So it worked in cycles. So, and I was doing 6 cycles. So I think on the 2nd or 3rd one, I think I was like this close to a nervous breakdown. I actually went to book a TRE session with a lady. It's called trauma release session. Trauma release exercises where, I mean, anyone can do it, and I actually suggest that any person should go and have this done. It is amazing, and I mean, you can do it yourself, but she shows you. It's just the way you do your legs, move your legs. And it comes down to, in the animal kingdom, if you see bucks running or whatever after they've been chased by lions or whatever, zebras, their body like shakes. It's like trauma release, flight and fight, trauma release that happens. And that's the same what this does. It actually just the way you put your legs and it starts trembling. And I did 15 minutes of that and I just burst out crying because it was this pent up trauma from actually going through this whole thing. After that I felt way better, but it was like torture for
It's
5.5.
so hectic. It's so bad because you're literally poisoning yourself. You're poisoning your body. You're going in there willingly and poisoning yourself, knowing that you're gonna feel like hell, like death.
They said with this chemo, my hair's gonna just thin out. I touch my hair and it's just these clumps of hair coming out. So eventually I had to actually just shave my head because it was so thin. I lost all my eyelashes, like my eyebrows. So not just that, I mean, your stomach, there was a time that it's hectic to say, but it's what it is. Like I had to wear nappies sometimes because, diarrhea is so bad. Some people get diarrhea and constipation, and mine was just diarrhea. So, I was also on cortisone that actually I picked up 10 kilograms. Like I was extremely bloated because of my neck. Like you get cortisone with your IV chemo, but I also had to go on prednisone for my neck because with all of this, my neck used to flare up and all of that. So I actually picked up 10 kilograms. So I was fat, bloated, bald, and didn't fit into any clothes. I didn't look my best. But in any case, so stopped that, and then about 2-3 months later, I had to start with radiation. Radiation was a walk in the park. I mean, it was 5 weeks going in there every day for 15 minutes. That is just, was nothing compared to chemo. And it's been now, almost 2 months.
It's still hectic. I mean, I know you think it's nothing, but you've been so messed up for so long that, I mean, your body can't even recover because it's literally burning you. They're putting radiation in you. It's hectic. I mean, people can't even stand in the room. You have to go out the room behind lead doors and stuff. And you think it was a walk in the park because of what you're coming out of. You hadn't even recovered properly, and your body is still can't even heal itself properly. Because now again you're basically burning all the cells and everything underneath. So I mean, I know you're saying it's a walk in the park, but geez, man, the recovery is just it's just been hectic.
No, I mean, and I was weak also. I still today, I can't do a whole day of work. I can't do, I'm very tired. Also, big thing, while just after radiation, before I went into radiation, and it ended up in hospital because my lower back and my neck was so hectic, and then they did tests, and the chemo and cancer actually pushed me into an autoimmune disease. So,
but did you not maybe have an autoimmune disease before? Because that's why your neck is getting messed up, and that's also that's why there's always so much inflammation on your neck.
Yes, but it kind of
it just makes it worse.
Whatever
you have, basically the chemo just makes whatever you have, any underlying things, it just makes it worse.
And the rheumatologist does say that cancer and autoimmune actually, remember he said something that they go hand in hand as well, because there's a lot of the women on the group also has autoimmune. But in any case, so in all of that, so even today, I had to go on autoimmune protocol diet, and I'm actually on one of the chemo drugs that they gave me, the M in the CMF, methotrexate, is now one of the things that I have to be constantly on for the autoimmune disease.
Now you're on a crazy diet. You've lost a lot of weight. You'd have like maybe 1 or 2 good days a week. We actually had a really good week last week. We had about 5 good days, which was really cool. 5 good days in a row, and then you had a lot of pain in that. So we're just trying to deal with the pain right now and sort out your neck and your back, because that's where we're at. But at least we're through the chemo, thank God.
And that's the whole thing with cancer, the side effects of all of it. It's also pushed me in menopause. That has been, that's been very hectic. So hot flashes, like I'll be sitting and it's just like a furnace that, come up. I mean, you even see, I go bright red. You feel me and I'm like boiling up. And with that comes anxiety. So I've also seen if I stress a bit, it's not just a hot flash and it goes away. And I mean, you want to just take your clothes off. There was a video I played actually on my Instagram where you could actually see someone in winter, she had a bald head and it actually came, you see the steam rising from her head. And that's exactly because that's how hot it is. So yes, so all of this has caused all these side effects that we have to deal with, and I need to also go on to hormone blockers, but one of the side effects are joint pain, so they don't want to do that with me now until they can get the inflammation at bay.
Through all of this, how has it been for you with your walk with God?
With this whole thing, you become a hermit, you want to be left alone. It's just because you're just trying to survive. And like I said, I've never cried so much and cried out to God, Lord, where are you? Where are you? And while I was crying like this, it just reminded me, the angels are actually taking my tears. It says in the Bible, the angels come and they take all your tears and they put it in a jar. And in that time...
What scripture is that? That's such a cool scripture.
I don't know. it comes back to me now. That's let's...
I want to find it.
Yeah, go find it.
Wow, that is such a cool scripture. It's Psalm 56:8. It says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book." Sure, that's so cool. Every tear you cry, God records and He knows. Sure, that's a cool thing. That's a really nice scripture for people who are struggling and going through some tough times.
Yeah. And it just came back to me now that I remember him saying that. And in this time, it was more me and him alone, just trying to survive. And there were times that I couldn't even pray. I just said, help me, just help me. And in all of this, something actually amazing happened not long ago. And I don't know if you want to do it in a whole another session that we speak about this, because it is quite long.
Yeah, all right. So you had a really incredible encounter, and we're going to save that for the next video that we're going to do, and Laudi's going to tell you what happened. It's pretty awesome. You're going to definitely want to hear it, guys. So I think let's wrap that up, because that was a long story.
Yeah.
It's tough, and and guys have got to just definitely listen to the next one. So make sure you guys have subscribed, hit the like button, and we will see you on the next one.